Hi everybody, Nate here from MyMod, and today I'm going to do a beginner's guide on Back4Blood, and we'll talk about how you can get the most out of your experience when you get to play Back4Blood for yourself. So the Back4Blood campaign, how does it work? The campaign for Back4Blood works in different ways depending on the difficulty that you have assigned yourself to play. The campaign is done in levels and acts, and these are executed through runs. Runs are defined by the number of continues, and should you run out of your available continues, you're required to begin your campaign run from the beginning. It's got a similar arcade style progression that you will come to find in things like Time Crisis or House of the Dead if you ever used to play them. So within an act are levels, and depending on the difficulty, there are more or less levels within an act that have particular starting points. And a good way to think about this is the easiest difficulty breaks the act up into many more segments than what you would do if you chose the hardest difficulty, Nightmare. And within these segments there are checkpointed starting points, allowing you to return to that starting point if you need to start a new run. A higher difficulty means less starting points and levels that breaks the act up, meaning you will need to go for longer during your playtime to find a starting point. Starting points allow you to start new runs without having to play all the way back to the beginning should you lose your continues. The good news is that if you reach a safe room, you can leave the game and return back to it through saving. Runs do not mean that they have to be completed in that one particular play session. And what's better is that the attachments on your gun, the stuff in your inventory and your currency are all saved should you want to quit and come back at a later stage. There are different stages of player mortality when you play Back4Blood as well. You have a standard health bar at the start of a run, and if you lose your health, you will go down and will have to wait for a teammate to revive you. If you keep going down, I think it's more than 3 times, your full health score will deplete until you are finally downed for the last time and then become unrevivable. So at this point, your player is dead essentially. And providing your teammate has a defibrillator, you could be revived from where your fallen body lands. If they can't get back to the body and they have to continue to the next section of a level, and you'll actually find the fallen dead player attached to a wall waiting to be rescued. It will say bot across it, but once you rescue them, it will drop straight back into the game. In order to complete a level, you do not require all 4 teammates to enter the safe room, although you may have a challenge card that grants you bonuses for having all 4 team members survive the level. Remember that you must close the door in order to finish the level. Each character has personal and team benefits attached to them, and this will dictate your style of play. For example, Evangelo has a personal 25% stamina regeneration trait on his player card and a 5% increase in the team movement speed, so that affects other players that are in your lobby. The further through the campaign, the more characters you unlock and the benefits that come with those characters. So before you get into a campaign, you'll be actually taken to the fort, which is a hub that allows you to make customizations and presets before you head out and do your campaign runs. So the things you can customize at the fort are the skins of your guns, card decks, characters' clothing that you're wearing, and your card unlock progressions through what's known as a supply line. To make this much easier to understand, think of your supply lines as a skill tree in an RPG game. As you go through the levels, you gather and harbour supply points you can take back to the hub and then unlock cards from your supply lines. You must remember that supply points can only be gathered from online cooperative play, and you cannot obtain them through single player campaigns. This is in a bid to keep the game as much about multiplayer as it is about anything else. So as you gradually unlock your supply lines, you can then add what you've unlocked into your card deck. Your card deck has 15 card slots that you can fill with variables that increase your player performance. You will not have the power to use all of your 15 cards for your run, however. When you begin a campaign run, you are required to lock in a particular card deck that you've created to a character and campaign. Once you have locked in this deck, it can no longer be used until that campaign run is completed or failed, and then you may use it for a new campaign. But when a level starts, you are given a menu from which a randomized selection of 5 cards from your deck will be given to you as options. You pick one of these cards for your level, and then that adds the variable to your player. You can also find additional cards during levels to boost your attributes at that time. These may or may not come with a price. So as I mentioned earlier, you cannot progress your supply lines for a single player. But I find a good way to plan your future card decks for co-op campaigns is to begin actually a single player campaign deck, as the cards are already unlocked for you. Remember, single player campaign has been kind of like left in the darkness for this game. It's not a particular mode that they want you to do, they would rather you jump into games instead. Besides the point, it's good to look at all the cards because you'll know in the future which ones that you want to add to your deck. I really hope you've enjoyed this beginner's tutorial for Back4Blood. It should be able to get you off on the right foot and progress through that campaign without too many problems at the start.
People will buy anything in the apocalypse.
Smile, you son of a bitch!
Saw something moving.
I can't see him.
Hey, swing by medical on your next break. Just grab me a bandage.
I don't think it'll work. Here's the trail is still burning.
If there's anything you'd like to know further, comment on this video. We'd love to see it, and what I'll do is if it's possible, I'll make some more videos on the stuff that you guys want to see. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next video.